A very good morning from the countryside. He's laughing at me. Anyway, a very good morning from the countryside town of Kitale. And it's a very beautiful morning out here, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, the sun is out. And yeah, it's looking very nice. It's not too cold. It's a beautiful day. And we are grateful. Thank you very much for watching our content. And thank you very much to all the new subscribers who subscribe to this channel from the Nairobi teacher. And many thanks. Hope you'll enjoy our content as well. Enjoy my content as the Village Wanderer. And today I'm beginning a series titled Boys to Men series. So the Boys to Men series is essentially a series that tackles issues that men are handling and issues that boys who are transitioning to men are dealing with. And today I'm privileged to be joined by none other than drum roll,
The cameraman.
my son. My son will introduce himself. Okay, it's dark, let's get the light. Okay, introduce yourself.
Okay, so number one, my name is Ike. I am basically the person who films most of the videos.
Yeah, he does my filming most of the time. But please don't ask for a wage on TV on the channel.
Hey.
Yeah, he
Why?
does most of my camera work.
Why?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you are introducing yourself. What's your name, your age, and your grade?
Okay.
Just that. Don't say your school.
Okay.
Yeah.
My name is Ike Emeka, son of Jonathan Emeka and Angela, and my grade is grade 7, and I'm 12 years old, turning 13 this year.
12 years old, turning 13. That makes you a preteen, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yes, it makes you a preteen. Are you excited about being a preteen?
Well, I've been a preteen for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, for about, I think,
Please louder.
I think 3 months now, and yeah, I think the changes have been coming.
So today, this conversation we're having is a conversation many parents should be having with their children, and it's just highlighting some of your expectations and your fears as a preteen, and as you go to teenagehood, like what do you expect out of life. But let's start with the highs. What do you think are your highs of being a preteen?
Well, I really think that being a preteen is okay. You get to experience some things that you won't experience as a young child, and I guess it's okay. And sometimes the highs of a preteen can be like, number one, I think that you can do very, very many things.
That's true. Yeah.
Without a parent supervising it.
That's true. Like what? Like what do you do nowadays that I don't supervise you? Like brushing your shoes,
Okay.
washing your clothes.
Washing
Maybe
your
you
clothes,
can tell the guys out there. What do you do?
Washing clothes, cooking sometimes,
Yes,
Yes,
you do cook very well.
and well, I don't really do much on the unsupervising thing, but if I do it, I do it really well.
True. So essentially, you're saying less supervision, isn't it?
Yes.
So that's an advantage. Yeah. What do you think? Are there disadvantages like to growing older. Maybe you're not babied anymore. Daddy expects more from you. What are some of the disadvantages?
Disadvantages. Number one, I really think it's the fear of. Number one, I really think that most people fear circumcision. They really fear circumcision, but maybe because of some of their cultures and their
You've raised
traditions,
interesting aspects there. Yeah.
They have to like be circumcised.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
every boy has to be circumcised.
True. And just the perception of changing from teenagehood to I mean from being a boy
to a man.
A man, yeah, that's a big step, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And it comes with a lot of responsibility, isn't it? Yeah. So just to update what we are talking about, these are just some issues that we're discussing here with Ike, and there are issues that relate to being a preteen and a teen, and some of the expectations and some of the fears that a preteen his age would be having as they transition to being a young man, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So circumcision is a big deal for you, isn't it? Yeah, because it has significant impact, and maybe this is something we can talk about all day.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure maybe our subscribers will also have quite a bit to say about that, because they come from very different cultures
And
yeah,
traditions.
exactly, and some cultures circumcise, some don't, so it's a whole debate in itself, isn't it? What are some of the things that you expect as a teenage? Like we had earlier talked about your cooking and what else did we talk about? Maybe you can repeat that again.
We talked about supervision and cooking. So I really think the
you want to do like your expectation in terms of cooking class and whatnot.
Cooking, like I would between cooking, like as an expectation, I really think that when I grow old, when I'm like in teenagehood now, even right now, I can just maybe start tutorial lessons on how to cook.
That's a good one.
And yeah, just learn how to cook more, training your ability more and more so that it can be perfect. As they say, practice makes perfect.
It does, doesn't it? And you're a good cook. Yeah. Yeah. What else did we talk about?
Besides that, I think the tutorials on cooking first before we talk about the other thing.
Yeah.
The tutorial, I would, between tutorial lessons and cooking, through the details, cooking tutorial is better, but expenses, internet is better.
Yeah.
And there are even tutorials on YouTube and apps that you can download on so that you may be able to learn how to cook.
So finally, as we conclude this discussion, CBC has been widely talked about because it's a new system. You're the guinea pigs of that system. You know what a guinea pig is? A guinea pig is the people who start something new.
Well, we are the first.
Yeah, and you're the first. So what's your impression of CBC now that you've done a CBC national exam and you're in junior secondary? How does that feel for you? Like, how's the system? Are you enjoying it? Is it fun? And I'm sure a lot of parents out there would want to know like the experience of other kids with CBC. Talk to us.
So I think CBC is like basically a mixture of all of the forms combined together to make a new curriculum. And the thing I like about CBC is that it has practicals.
So it's a
And
nice, so it's a
also-
nice system.
Yes, and also it doesn't recommend cheating most of the time. Like back then in 844, all you needed to do was to cram like the answers, continue cramming until you finally and just know the answers, and you can write it there and you pass and then you go. But in CBC it's different. It's different, yes.
That's nice. So
Each,
it's a nice system.
Yes.
Okay.
And also it doesn't have ABCD for junior secondary. Grade 6 it has ABCD, but junior secondary
You have to write
yes,
the answers.
yes.
Okay, that's interesting.
So you have to make an understanding on what it is, what your answer is, so that you can write the answer.
Okay. Okay. So, guys, we were just talking about quite a number of issues. We talked about CBC, we talked about teenagehood, preteen, expectations and fears. And I know this conversation could go on and on and on, but we can actually have a part 2 of this video some other time, isn't it? Yeah, probably next weekend we can continue with the series, maybe have a part 2, discuss a different issue, isn't it? But thank you very much for accepting to be on the channel, and thank you very much for your perspectives as a 12-year-old preteen going into teenagehood, and just hope to talk more on various issues that affect kids of your age, isn't it?
Yeah.
Remember, if you like this content, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, at least support, isn't it? Support these conversations we are having, support the channel, and we look forward to putting out more such content where we're having these conversations. Yes, you have
Yeah, that's
something.
2,500.
1,000.
1,000.
Yeah, 1,000.
But first get us to 500. At
Yeah,
least.
at least 500 subs. Yeah, and then we can be on the road to 1,000, isn't it?
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'd like
So
to
yeah.
say,
I'll give you the opportunity to say your last word. Okay. Yeah. Go
Okay.
ahead.
So that's what I'm in the dark. Okay.
Wow, the lighting is.
Bad.
Yeah. Okay. There we go.
Yeah.
Shoot. Your last word.
So the last thing I would like to say is that for some people mostly, just don't be afraid of the changes, especially for boys. Don't be afraid of the changes on like body changes and deep voices. Like, you see, last year I didn't have a deep voice like this, but nowadays I have a deep voice and I'm much more taller than I was last year, which means I'm growing basically. So just don't be afraid of the changes that come into adulthood and adolescence and preteen, all of that, puberty even. Just accept it, because that's one of the stages that most preteens and teens go through. So you have to. It's not like it's a choice thing. You have to go through this, and so it's basically a cycle transforming from a boy to a teenage man. In the middle is teenage. So I just like to say, don't be afraid of the changes. That's what I was basically here for. Thank you for your time.
Wow. And on that note, until the next one, bye bye.